The first pick in the 2020 draft.
To win a national championship and build them into a Super Bowl team. Welcome to the program.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to week 8 of the program recruiting. We have got Carl. Boz is back from his Hawaiian destination because the Boston Red Sox did not make the World Series. Nate is here, and obviously you can see we've got the greatest coach in program history in the middle of an intervention here, and that is Ray GQ here, the coach of Georgia Tech, joining us for the show. Carl, you usually got a bunch of questions lined up for the coaches here, so I'll let you kick that off first.
All right, step one. I can't really talk because my hair kind of is similar. Does Matt look like a douche with a faux hawk? That's Q1, right?
I'm not gonna say that. I mean, he's got a little. Matt's my dog, man. I'm not gonna say that.
I am.
All right, good. That's a test of loyalty.
Yeah.
Let's see. Which recruit are you hunting down the most this season?
One that actually plays offense. That's who I'm hunting down the most. One that actually plays offense. I mean, honestly, y'all want me to be truthful? I just need somebody. We need bodies at Georgia Tech. So anyone that I can land tonight, next week, I'm praying, truly praying for.
We'll send them that video. We just need bodies.
We just need bodies. Buzz.
Let's see. And then from Kane, what is your favorite food?
That's a trick question because nobody can have one favorite food. I like food, all of it, man. I love pizza. I'm a big burgers guy. But if you're asking me, I love tacos too. Tacos are dope. But if you're asking me, like, gun to my head, I've got to pick one thing to eat. Just perfectly smoked brisket, man. Just give me the brisket, dude.
That's a good Texas answer.
I'm smoking a brisket this weekend, so give me brisket over everything. I love a good brisket.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, and then last question: what is your favorite part of the program?
Oh man, I was hoping y'all asked me this question because I think I've told a lot of you individually just how really unique this league is, and there's nothing like it. Like, honestly, if y'all got an IP to this, I would like package it up and just keep it because the work y'all put in, the product that we get to enjoy, I see it engaging people that I've been in leagues with a completely different way outside of a redraft league, a Devy league, not even a C2C league. This is way different, man. So my favorite part of it is just how interactive and engaging it is and how different it is. There's so much strategy involved, so much, like a lot. And for y'all to do this and to give us this product, man, it's super fun to be a part of it, man.
Perfect.
Appreciate that.
It's the best answer we've gotten.
I was about to say, you get the trophy for that answer. That's for sure.
Yeah, you know what? For that, we're going to give you Dion Bouquet.
I'm about to say, I promise you will get one recruit tonight because of that answer.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So a couple housekeeping things to mention before we get into the recruits. I posted in the chat this morning we needed to talk to you guys about the playoffs. I told you guys that I messed up. So last year we did not have to run a playoff system because we had no season, obviously, with everything going on COVID. For whatever reason, Fantrax had set in there 4 teams to make the playoffs. That is not how we do things here. It will be 6 teams. The top 6 teams in each conference make the playoffs. Moving forward from there, Nate, do you want to pull up the sheet? And you're
Yes,
much better at talking about this stuff than I am. So if you want to share it, I'll add it and let you guys, because again, I'm just here to be a pretty face. I will happily sit back and let you take control. Just tell me when you're ready, and I'll add it on there.
I'm ready to go. I can give him a shot.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so we kind of tried to make this graphic to break down how playoffs are going to run. Like we were saying, top 6 in each conference is going to make the playoffs. So that is separate from the top 25. That is per conference. When you're looking at your 12, if you're making top 6, when the playoffs start next week, that will be the cutoff, with top 2 in each conference making the bye week. Everybody else will miss the playoffs. However, it is important to remember the top 25 decides who makes bowl games. So these 18 teams, of course, will be in this top 25. And then the other 7 teams that manage to make it in, you are all making bowl games. Week 10 will be when the playoffs start. Like I said, the first and second seed of each conference will have a bye week with the other 4 teams duking it out. Week 11, the 1 and 2 seed will play the highest and lowest seed respectively. And then week 12 will be conference championships. The only teams playing on week 12 will be the winner of both semifinal games within each conference. So at the end of week 12, we will have 3 conference championships. Or 3 conference champions. Those 3 conference champions will be the 3 teams that go to the national championship. So it doesn't matter where you started out of this top 6. If you win out the playoff bracket and you win your conference, you are going to the national championship for a chance to win lots of recruiting points and prestige once we start accounting for that. And it's going to be a really big deal and going to be awesome. Everyone else, the other 4 through 25, will be reseeded according to both how you finished in the playoffs and what you were at before the playoffs, to where we have a 4 through 25. And you will be matched up into these 11 bowl games. These bowl games will be, as you can see, the highest seeds play each other. So 4 is playing 5, 6 playing 7, 8 playing 9, so on, all the way down to the Mayo Bowl, where somebody's going to play Ray. But the best part of hey, top 25 is still worth something. The best part about doing it this way is it is going to be tiered rewards. So I know you may be thinking, oh, I'm number 4 team. I don't want to have to play in the number 5 team. Well, the points get better the higher up you are. So we don't have it officially tabulated out. We'll release that later. But it will basically just know if you're playing in a higher caliber bowl game, we want to bring that excitement of college bowl game to the program. So there will be more points, both for the winner and the loser. Because remember, even just making the bowl game, you are going to get those extra recruiting points, which is why it's so important to make the top 25. But the higher bowl game you get, the more points that are on the table. And, the better head start you're going to get in recruiting next year. So I think that's pretty much what we have. We can have this document kind of tidied up for y'all, and I can add it to y'all's boards so that everybody understands starting next week, and maybe even we'll have something updating with who's playing who and all that good stuff. So I'm sure we'll play around with that some. But as always, make sure to ask any questions. If y'all have questions, if y'all are confused, we'll, I'm sure, explain this again between now and next week. But yeah hopefully that cleared it up.
Want to reiterate, playoffs start next week. This is the final week of the regular season. With that being said, trades need to be done by next Wednesday. You cannot make a trade during the playoffs to help out your college team. Now, if you do make a trade that involves NFL players, if you're trying to boost your NFL squad, and the example I used earlier today with someone is if you're trading like an Aaron Jones and you're getting Drake London back on the other side, that's perfectly fine. You can have Drake London. You will not be able to start him on your college roster throughout the playoffs because that's just unfair for you to get a top wide receiver to all of a sudden you're not going to get that in real life. So you're not going to be able to start them throughout the playoffs. But you can still make that trade. We will monitor that. The reason for playoffs starting a week early is obviously because of the bowl game in the final week of the college season and the national championship. You still have to set your lineups. We don't want people to be using the championship week of college football when you only have, half the teams playing because, teams like Rice in real life are not making any conference championship. So you may be out your Victor Tuckers of
Me
the world
either.
who are from Charlotte, who's been a baller all season long. We want those guys to be able to play for you. So that's why we're starting a week early, just like we did in the NFL. Piggybacking off that, if you guys have not looked at Fantrax for some reason deleted an entire week out of everybody's standings. We are not 100% sure why. So right now we do not have a top 25 for you, because if you go in and look at every conference, everybody is 6-1. And like UCSD got their loss taken off the docket, so now he's back to being undefeated. Don't know exactly what happened with that. Once that gets fixed, I will post that in the chat for everybody what the new top 25 is, but I can't do that until they give the wins or losses back to teams, because I don't know. Everybody is not what they say they are right now, kind of thing. So yes, Tristan. So that's right. You're technically 0-7 right now, Tristan. There's still a shot you'll get that win, but I doubt it. Chances are by the next couple of days you're going to be 0-8 again. But enjoy it while you can.
We're definitely putting him and Skip in a toilet bowl.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. What's the worst bowl game we can get? And we'll
in the toilet bowl, you get 1 extra recruiting point. This is unofficial.
Only if you win.
Only if you win.
All right, what else do we have? Are we jumping into Nate? Do you want to talk recruiting classes, or are we jumping straight into recruiting?
Yeah, I can do top 5 recruiting classes. Let's
see if Ohio State jumped up in there. With their big win last week.
Did you get anybody?
Right? No, probably not. I still think I'm stuck on 3. Ray's talking about he needs bodies. I'm right there with him. I'm about to lose like 10 players to the NFL, and I got 3 recruits.
Hey, he might send you Dion Bouye. He knows you love that IDP.
If we know anything. All right, is it over on my screen yet?
Yeah, it's up.
Yes.
Yeah. You're
Okay,
good.
we'll start at the bottom because we had some movement at the top. Then I'm gonna try to hold secret unless it was already showing and I spoiled it, but let me pretend. So Michigan dropped down, just barely keeping in there at 25, with Georgia, Florida, UCF, USC, and Penn State rounding out that bottom 20 to 25 range. USC actually jumping up to 21 after being outside of the top 25. So good job there.
And getting a new coach.
And
We
getting a
forgot
new
to
coach. I
mention that.
forgot about that. Yes.
New
Congrats.
coaches for USC and TCU. Interim,
Yes.
though. They gotta earn it.
Interim coach, but I mean, you're coming in with a top 21 recruiting class. You're doing good so far. So let's keep up the momentum. Next up is going to be UTSA, LSU, NC State, one of the only teams, or only a couple teams that stayed still. We had a lot of movement this past week. Texas Tech, Stanford, Miami, North Carolina bumped all the way up to 13, passing up a lot of these teams that dropped down a good bit. SMU and Cal also dropped, with Tulane jumping all the way up to that number 10 spot. So there you go, Boz. UCLA, Jared also jumping up 6 spots to number 9. UCSD jumped up 5 spots to number 8. So like I said, this whole range had a ton of movement. Rice, we unfortunately fell out of the top 25 or top 5, not 25, top 5, now down to class number 6. UNT dropped down 2 to number 5. Maryland staying put at 4. USF dropped down to number 3 to make room for Vanderbilt, who leaped up to the number 2 spot, up whopping 7. I'm pretty sure that was the biggest move this week, was Vanderbilt. So anchored down all the way up to number 2. Still can't catch up to Texas, though, because quite frankly, if you look at the scores, which this other sheet on your board does give you a numerical representation of this and the points, and you can see that, Texas is just walloping, quite frankly, the standings. So good job to Texas. I don't know that anybody's going to catch up to you, and deservedly so, because your class is pretty dang good. But congrats on Vanderbilt breaking into that top 3, and we'll see where we go after tonight.
I just want to say this is horse shit. I like all 3 other commissioners get into the top 25, and Ohio State can't. You guys are just
We're
jealous of
following
my
the
record.
board.
What board?
I was about to say.
USF dropped, so it's a good week.
There's a
So
board.
it's a good week. Sorry,
There's,
Kane.
what's this board you speak of? There's a board we're
I
supposed
was
to
about
look
to say,
at?
every other commissioner, if there was one common theme.
I don't follow any board. I don't know what you guys are talking about. All right, let's look at these recruits here. Per request by Conference 2, they asked to go first, so we will start them off here. We're not going with the big name first. We're going with apparently an IDP player. I'm going to be honest, I don't even know who Dion Bouye is. So
I believe
The
There's a
IDP
chance.
player.
There's a chance.
there's always a chance. Me and Ray will
Well,
be
hey.
holding out hope.
Hey, from the guy
Rice
who
could get
recruited
him
like
right now.
15, from the guy who recruited 15 IDPs last year, let me tell you right now, the chance is slim. But enjoy it while you can.
Dion Bouye is going to be deciding between Rice with 85 and Florida with 15. I don't know if either of them want him, but he'll be going somewhere.
Hey, let's go
I
Owls.
think Nate does. He just wants that boost in recruit score.
Clearly, Rice
I
wants
do
him.
very much want the recruit
And
score. I will
Rice
admit.
is going to get him. Are we doing anything for the recruit score? Or is that just bragging rights?
It's just bragging
For
rights.
now, it's bragging rights, but you never know. Someday.
We'll look back
All
in
right.
5 years and be like, wow, they actually had the worst class.
Shh.
Next
about
up, we
the
got Antonio Williams, who's going to be deciding between Washington with 40, Georgia with 40, and Florida with 20.
All right, nice little tie here. So, not going to Washington. Money on Georgia? Some money on Georgia?
Yeah.
Georgia, it is.
He's also going to Tulane tonight.
Oh, there you go.
Bold statement.
Mari Alston's going to be deciding between UTSA with 85 and UCLA with 15.
Let's see if Jared finally makes up for all the upsets he had to endure.
I really wish we would have gone conference one first because I hate when we get all those upsets in conference one. Nope. Congratulations to UTSA.
Oh, chalk.
Noah Thomas is going to be deciding between UTSA with 85 again and Maryland with 15.
Here's going to be the
Running.
upset because Carl
I'm
always
here for
magically
chaos.
happens to get these guys.
I'm here for
Oh,
chaos.
never mind.
Nah.
No,
Quite
no
frankly,
chaos.
we may statistically still be making up for that 1 week where every single one was upsets. So
Except for Quinn Ewers.
the actual week where I had some decent recruits on the line, I got
Yeah.
killed.
yeah, I felt bad. I was like, oh, look, Ray's in on a bunch of people. Oh, no.
Yeah.
And now for the player we've all been waiting for, a
Mhm.
program record 2,000 points total towards him this year. And he's going to be deciding between UCLA with 55, Miami with 30, and Cal with 15. There was, I think, 6 teams over 300 points on him.
Yeah, money's on Cal here, actually, based on
Why?
recent
Like-
trends.
Guys, he's not that good. Why'd you guys points it on him? All right, well, he's
I
not
didn't,
going to
because, you know,
Miami.
Follow the bars.
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
yeah, I know. Follow the board, quote unquote. UCLA. So congrats,
Oh,
Jared.
shock.
I know
Oh,
he's
actually,
got he's got the
C2.
end zones painted. They're gonna throw a parade. He was all excited about getting Emmanuel Henderson. So he's I guarantee throwing a party at Rich's house right now. He probably has no idea, but
No.
he's gonna be happy. All
We
right,
just
we going?
paused the show.
Should we go?
Yeah, we can go to
conference
C3 now.
3? Okay.
Oh, okay, sweet.
With their a bunch of recruits, guys. I hope you guys are excited.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll
Boz,
do 3.
Boz, you want to go over visits?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Only one team is bringing in recruits this week, and that's UNC, who's bringing in Elijah Brown, Stephen Bird, and Caleb Johnson.
Interesting.
There you go. All right, so I'm not going to tell you guys in C3 how many we have. I'm just going to start reading, and when I'm done, then we're all going to be super happy with what has happened here tonight. So we're going to start out with Shalik Knotts, wide receiver out of North Carolina. He's got an 85-15 split between NC State and Florida State.
Oops, sorry, sending a text message. All right. See if we get some upsets now. We do. Congratulations to Florida State.
Woo!
All right.
Ooh.
There we go.
That's
C2. C2 took all the chalk.
Wow, 85-15 too. That's a very rare.
Could have used some of those in. Well, I don't think I'm in on anybody, so I really don't care if there's any upsets in Conference 1 now that I say that.
No, you do. You want the chaos.
No,
Always
I
bet on
don't.
the chaos. All right, next up is going to be Aaron Anderson, wide receiver out of the state of Louisiana, committed to LSU. It's going to be a 70-30 split between Pepperdine and the Tigers.
I mean, I'm rooting for an upset here. I want my boy Colin
I'm always
to
saying
get
go
it. And-
Tigers.
Exactly, because I just want to hear it. Which, by the way, I loved how you threw in a little Coach O there when you were talking about playoffs earlier. You got a little gravelly voice and you got the accent
little
going a little bit when you were talking playoffs. I appreciate it.
Those are games that
LSU!
go Tigers.
No, I'm telling you, man. LSU's got that Tiger magic whenever you're on the show.
You have been well rewarded for choosing that school, Colin. Go Tigers. It's definitely not at all a bad thing that I'm that biased towards someone in the conference that I'm coaching.
You just show him everybody else's points they have in, and he still comes in second. It's amazing.
I was about to say, there's nothing I can do about this dice roll. Okay, guys, I'm innocent. All right, next up is going to be Jadarian Price, running back out of the state of Texas, committed to Notre Dame. It's going to be an 80-20 split between two Texas teams, North Texas and Texas Tech. Texas Tech has been upset expert this year.
Yeah, I was going to say both of these have been really good at getting recruits.
Don't
as well.
say that. Don't say that.
Oh, Nate strikes, man. Look at that.
Whoa.
You guys missed
What else you got,
behind
Nate?
the scenes there.
I was about to say I'm on a roll tonight.
You know, I will say, where the hell were you when Quinn Ewers was recruiting in Conference 1? Could have used the love there, Nate.
Could have used it. I apologize. This is a newly discovered talent. So anyway, to continue on with the excitement, Texas Tech will have 2 auto commits to end the night. Dane Key and Amari Clark. Don't be mad at me. I'm sorry. There's only those. That's it. That's all the C3 excitement. I'll let you guys know, there are plenty of recruits in commit mode. They just rolled a whole lot of no's this week. So
Yeah, Texas Tech
How
big
many?
winners with three commits tonight.
oh yeah. After they had
can
already
you,
risen decently up the
can
board.
you
Let's see.
Tell us how many, Nate?
Oh gosh, I could pull it up and let me see.
Absolutely. Why
Want him
not?
to count.
Yes, I do.
All right, you do that. I'll announce your visits for this week.
Yes, please do. that.
LSU has Tavoris Jones coming in. Pepperdine has Janarian Bonner. Texas Tech wants Jadarian Price to visit, but now he's just committed there. UC Irving has Cameron Miller, and UCF has Arlen Harris Jr. and Caleb Johnson.
I mean, he can still
Oh.
come visit.
By the way, Conference 3, I did add that nifty little counter to your coach books. Please use that so that I do not get any more requests for visits from teams that are already at 10. I did have a handful that it was up to 12 and 13, and I checked to make sure that it wasn't just you were at 9 and you were requesting 4, and no, it was a few that were at 10. So please use that.
It'd be great if the commissioner of Conference 1 could do that. So, we're not.
That's great. Georgia Tech has
Yeah.
used 5 visits. Ohio State has used 7.
Oh, thanks. That's all.
Nine.
That's all I really care about. Yeah, you have to read the whole list. I just wanted mine because I've got some guys I'm close on this week. So, thanks. That's all I needed. Appreciate you.
Texas, Tulane, and UC
If only
Davis
it was
are out of
mine.
visits. Also, we are offering the 2 new coaches each 5 visits.
What?
Yeah.
TCU will have 5 visits for
What?
their new players, and USC will have 5 for the last 4 weeks of recruiting. Now they have to get those guys to 100 points still.
Can I
Yeah, it's still
quick
going to
come
be
back
tough.
real quick?
And if they're not in playoffs, they won't be able to win.
Okay, I got that count up. I did a little Excel real quick. So including the players that committed tonight, so I guess that's what? There were 5 all included. There were 24 recruits in C3 that are in commit mode. So plenty of options, but again, each week there's only a 1/3 chance that a commit actually decides to lock it in. So there's plenty that
C2
cross that threshold, but
C2 has 19 in the queue.
there you go. So the same
How do
after week.
I
yeah.
do this math?
I just counted.
I was about to say you could do count if and then that column and then greater than 0. And on the counter that runs the 1, 2, 3s, but only if they're ready. Little behind the scenes Excel formulas for you guys tonight.
So, Carl, why don't you read off League One and Nate can go in there or maybe Boz can go. Well, no, Boz can't because Boz is in.
I got
I can do it.
20. I got
20.
20.
There you go.
Okay.
So congrats, C3. You have the most players ready to commit. They just decided not tonight.
All right, let's do this.
Exactly.
Ohio State needs a highly recruited player. So let's go.
Perfect. So Oscar Del, since Ray's on the show, we're going to add him in with 1.
No.
I'm just kidding. All right, first commit Dion Bouye, athlete out of Georgia, going straight to Georgia
Wait,
Tech.
what? Dion Bouye. I gotta go all
Oscar-
the way and find Dion Bouye
No.
now?
No, he's auto. He's auto.
He's already on campus.
Yeah.
All right.
Me and Ray we've been talking to
He's a
him.
Gavin
We're good to
Wimsatt.
go.
All right, Oscar Delp, tight end out of Georgia. 70-20-10 split between Penn State, Ohio State, and Stanford. Georgia Tech and Texas missing the cut.
Wham, wham.
Mm.
See if we can get an upset here. Ooh.
Any predictions, Nate?
Chalk.
God, I hate you. Yeah, I really do. Because of that, you made Ohio State last. This is bullshit.
Which technically isn't chalk, right? All right,
Right.
next up we have Azarai Thomas, an athlete out of Florida. No idea if he's playing offense or defense, but an 85-15 split between TCU and Tulane. Can Coach Liptak get his first commit?
Oh yeah, it's TCU.
Yes,
there you go.
He does.
Nice. He didn't even put any points on him.
Good job.
Thank you, Brandon Lejeune. Next up, Darius Clemens, wide receiver out of Oregon. 70-20-10 split between Texas, Stanford, and Tulane. Texas commit tracker. Should probably see where they're at.
13. Great radio. Great
That's
radio.
true. They are at 13.
Damn. Look
There
at
you
that.
go.
Know my shit. All right. Well, he's not going to get to 14.
Oh,
Yeah,
this,
that's
looks
it.
good. This looks good.
Let's see it, Boz.
Is it Boz? It is not.
No.
We'll re-roll. PJ's not watching.
You
This
have
is
to
next
watch
up
the
is
show,
Antonio
people. It is
Williams.
mandatory for this league.
This
This
is
is the only
this
one
is
I
a-
want.
Demand your
This is
attention.
going to be the upset right here, though. This is where Texas gets to 14.
Texas doesn't
Right.
need anything else.
Wide receiver out of
That's
South
true.
Carolina, 70-30. Between
There's
Tulane and
PJ.
Texas.
Which one you want me to click, Boz? You just want me to go
Number
right for
one.
the one or two? Hey, what I
Oh!
tell you?
Wow.
Come on.
Wow.
He's got 15. He's recount.
No, he's got 14 now.
Wow.
Well, he's about to get to
Jeez,
15. I'm pretty
Pete's.
sure he's in on one of these four
By the way,
guys.
yep, the next guy he's in on. So
All
this
right,
could be
there you go.
15.
This could be
Let's
number
just
50.
make it
Quite
happen.
frankly, I was about to say, I just want to happen just to see Texas be done.
If 5
Well,
did this, man.
If he reaches 15 and he can still continue to recruit guys, but he has to trade them within the next week, basically.
Right.
I'll
He'll
take Antonio
automatically be out of the
Williams.
running for the other guy he's in on tonight.
Unless it's the postseason. So, all right, wide receiver out of Virginia,
two,
headed
two,
to North
two.
Carolina, to Sean Chapman, Stanford, UCSD,
No.
and Texas.
No.
Oh,
It's not going to be
Texas.
Texas.
the reign of terror lives on.
Hey, he's still got
Stanford
another
keeps
recruit
him.
he's in on.
Yeah, I'm about to say he's in on another one. So
Yeah.
Stanford
Just
gets
waiting.
2 recruits tonight.
That coveted
Yes.
last spot to
Let's
come
just go right to
steal
it. Who is it?
somebody's.
Right here? Let's just see if he can pull the upset here on Amari.
There we
on
go.
Amari here. Let's just do it. Let's just go right to it.
You're messing the whole system up here. All
Let's
right.
go.
The whole thing
Who
is
cares?
ruined.
Let's just do
All
it.
right, so Julio Jones, athlete out of Florida, headed to Bama, 85-15, UC Davis, and Texas. According to Al, he is the next Julio Jones.
Got it.
We clicking one. Oh, and
Yeah.
it's Alfred. Alfred's the top dog too. He's got upset a lot this year. It's gonna
Do
be bad.
it.
I wasn't looking. I thought you
congratulations.
clicked it and it wasn't him.
No, I didn't. No, congratulations to Alfred. It looks like Texas is gonna live for one more week. They'll probably get like
One
the
more
next
week.
highest recruit next
Yeah.
week. So
I'm sure there's still some like top 5, top 10 guys that are just floating around. Definitely.
There is
he's
actually-
just,
there
he's
is
just
a-
waiting.
there is a quarterback who's still available, which is somewhat surprising.
There is. And he's got a lot of teams in on him. I'll tell you that much. All right, Terrence
Those are
Gibbs,
always
running
fun.
back out of Florida, 85-15 split between USF and UC Davis.
USF trying to catch up to Texas,
Kane
pulled away.
is Terrence
There you go.
Gibbs loading up on running backs this year. That's like his fifth
Yes.
running
He
back,
is.
I think. 5th or 6th.
Two more solo commits in Conference 1. Arlen Harris Jr., running back out of Missouri, headed straight to Pitt. And Nate Johnson, quarterback out of Clovis, California, headed to Utah, headed to
That was a-
UC Davis.
Great pick by Alfred there. I can't believe so many of us overlooked him.
Which one?
All right,
Arlen?
let's go. No, Nate. Johnson.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
He's good. He's good. He's good.
Luther Richardson, whose coach likes to throw stuff and hit players. QB out of Tennessee.
Hey, you gotta keep him in line, man. You gotta keep.
You got to keep them in line.
80-20 split between UC Davis and Stanford.
Boom! Congratulations, to
There
Alfred.
you go. Alfred having a night.
Alfred.
Yep,
Trip-
three
He's not even
recruits.
watching. He's messaging in
Good
the
stuff,
channel. He
Alfred.
ain't watching. All right. What do we got
There
visit
you
wise
go.
here, Carl?
All right, so Ohio State has used 7 visits. To clarify, 7. We still
And
have
I've
3.
probably
They're
not
bringing
won
in
on any
Matthew
of those
Golden
guys,
this
but-
week.
You didn't have
Penn
to announce
State
what I was
has
bringing in.
used 9 visits. They're bringing in Kojo Anwi this week. Pitt still has only used 2 visits. They still do not understand the system. We'll work on it. Stanford has used 8 visits. This week they're bringing in Ryan Otten. Texas has used all 10. They're bringing in Kobe Prentice. Tulane has used all 10. They're bringing in Kojo Antwi, Jerry Cross, Chandler Smith, and Quincy McAdoo. And UC Davis has used 11, so we're still trying to figure out which one of these players he's bringing in, but it's either Rayshawn Luke or Rashad Dubinion.
The lowest one. Let's do that. Let's do the lowest
Yeah.
rated one.
Perfect.
That's definitely the
Yes.
most fair.
Yeah, Dubinion.
All right,
that makes
so-
sense.
I'm just gonna kind of like put you guys on the spot here. How many more weeks left do we have of recruiting? So everybody knows.
Or
Four for
Okay.
four.
technically 5.
I got
Yeah.
time to get my shit together. All right.
Hey,
So-
and don't
9, 10, 11, and 12. And then week 13, which is the national championship, is National Signing Day.
right.
So
And
that's
don't
your
forget,
off-season recruiting.
What?
don't
well,
forget, you have that big boost right at the end. Another that
Yeah.
end of season, a lot of points you can
1,000
drop.
points. Yep, 50 per recruit. So if you don't have 15, throw 50 on a
Yeah.
bunch of guys you like.
Yeah,
Who
and
knows?
a lot of people are going to be out of the running. As we start getting up these top 5 teams, we're going to start running out of space.
UCF and Texas are. That's it, really. And Maryland. There's a lot of Ohio States out there with 3
I
players
have,
who
like,
could,
8 guys.
use. I'd really appreciate if you guys just kind of like left the trash for the rest of us here because it's kind of getting bad.
Well, tell you what, there were some guys that were in those lower ranks last year that turned out to be pretty good. So it definitely takes some more
Yeah.
scouting. But I mean, because
Good.
our ranks at the end of the day were from 24/7 at the beginning of the season. So for example, Drew
Right.
Aller
Yeah, these are
that
all
I got
through.
is like not even close to the top quarterback in these
True.
points wise compared to now. I should be getting the same points that somebody's getting for Quinn Ewers, quite frankly, at this point.
Yep.
Yeah, that
But-
sucks.
Yeah,
You
I
got Walmart. You got Walmart. Drew
Walmart
Aller.
dollar, yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
Walmart
it's-
dollar.
I talked with Austin today about Javonte Citizen, who's now the number 8 back in the class. He was running back 27 earlier this year, so
Yep.
it's one of those things that those guys shoot up.
Yep.
Really quick, because people like Carl and I think Bat Mooning kind of abused the system last year. You cannot put like 1 point toward recruits
Matt
and get those
Mooney.
guys. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Just a reminder how that final week works and how points are in, because last year there was people who put like 1 point
40.
in and you got
minimum
all those.
40.
Have to have a
Mhm.
minimum of 40. Okay.
Which in that
So
last
everybody
week, you
knows.
can drop 50 per recruit again. So if you want to drop 50 on, what is it?
Or 40.
Or 40. Yeah, if you want to drop 40,
Or if your
you can.
bonus gets you to 40, so you're figuring
That's
out
true.
the math and putting 35 each.
Which your coach books do show you the result after bonus. So you don't even have to do that math. We
Sure.
did the math for you. So you just cross 40 on enough people and you're at least on you're at least going to get a dice roll for them. So
quick
And then the
calculator
last
math here
thing-
for you, Nate, is
Yeah.
20 teams if you put, or 20 players if you put 50, 25 if you put 40 in that last week.
There you go. Look at you.
Great.
And if you already have 10 points on them, even better.
you're set.
For National Signing Day, a little thing is if you're approaching 15 or you're going to be up for at least 15 guys, we are going to have you pre-rank the
Yes.
players that could commit to you. So even not necessarily the order they're in your coach book, however you rank them, you'll give that list to your commissioner. And then on
Mhm.
that day, once you reach 15, you will no longer be in on any of the guys lower.
Right. That way you don't feel like, you have to avoid recruiting certain people because you don't want to get locked out of other people. Because like I said, these rankings, our personal rankings can be different. So we by far want you to feel like, especially with that last hurrah, you're getting the guys you want. So just send us in your rankings and we'll fill it out as you need, depending on who you win, of course. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't
You'll get the
send
top
if
guys.
you're in conference 2, don't send them to Nate and I.
I mean, you can, but
Yeah, just
it
don't
would not
recommend
be
it.
advantageous to you.
Last but not least, we've talked a little bit about it here and there. Just a reminder, National Signing Day is also flip day. We will likely see some flips. So again, if there's a
Yep.
prospect that you really want that you did not land and you were in the top 3, DM your commissioner and say, hey, I want to flip this player. If he's not locked, you've got your chance to flip them. Reminder, you do lose 150 of your 1,000 recruiting points next offseason.
Yep.
But who wants Arch Manning? He's going to suck. Go for Quinn Ewers. That's all I got to say. Buckeyes, baby. That's all I've got. Just a reminder, everybody. Anybody else? Anything? You guys got anything else before we get out of here?
Nope. Coach Book's due on Friday.
Yes.
Or a Saturday?
If you have
noon?
questions,
Friday.
reach out to us.
Friday.
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 Got
Yeah,
it.
Friday.
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 He actually already has
Friday.
his points in for next week, and it's a black cell, and he's trying to figure out what happened. So we'll get there.
We'll get there.
All right, guys. We will be back again next week and get ready for. We'll start talking playoffs next week on next week's show.
Yeah.
As we'll have, hopefully, if Fantrax gives us our week back, we'll have updated roster standings and be able to know who's where. All right, guys. Catch you guys next week.